So let's go step by step, let's start from niche. Niche is one of the most powerful concepts when it comes to doing marketing nowadays, as you've seen in the trends related to affiliate marketing, right? So in particular, in this part of this section of this course, we will see together what are some of the popular niches. We will also see what are some of the most popular niches in 2022, as well as some of the traits that define different types of niches. So they're not all the same, not only in terms of the products, but also there are different levels that we can consider. How can you spot great niches? And also, how can you find an audience who might be interested in those niches, in those products? Some of the most popular niches, they're usually pretty widespread, pretty common. For example, tech products, as well as health and fitness. Everyone wants to feel good about themselves. Or fashion, this is also a pretty mainstream niche. And also lifestyle, home decor, pet care, travel, and all the hobbies and all these things. Those niches are pretty solid. You know that you can promote those niches. You can definitely do that at any time because they will be pretty stable. Then there are some other niches which are growing in 2022. They're kind of the same, but with very small and subtle differences. For example, there's a stronger focus on self-care, on outdoor, on cooking, tech gadgets, as well as home decor, pet care, and lifestyle. But I would like to focus more on the self-care point, because as you can imagine, now everyone wants to feel healthy, to look healthy, and to feel good about themselves. So self-care could be considered as, let me read some self-help books, okay? But it could also be like, I want to find clothes, I want to find any item which makes me feel good about myself. And this could also be considered as self-care. Or maybe I have a beautiful evening routine and I take care of myself and I do this to take care of myself. This is also very powerful nowadays. Not all niches are the same. So there are 3 different levels that we can consider when defining what is the right niche for us. So there are the global niches. Then we have the specific niches. And then we have the micro niches. Well, the macro niches could be, for example, skincare. Skincare is such a broad niche, right? It includes such a broad list of products. Really have all sorts of different products together. And usually when it comes to macro niches, you can get high traffic, so you can attract lots of users. But since you attract so many users to your website, to your social media content, the conversion rate is usually pretty low. On the other hand, if we are talking about micro niches, so like anti-aging skincare for men, like very, very specific niches, they are too specific. They're, the number of users who might actually be interested in buying these products is limited. So it will be hard for you to get enough traffic to your website or to your content so that you can earn money, especially on the long term. So you can get high commission rate or you can get high conversion rate from those niches, but it will be hard to even attract the users to make them purchase the products that you're promoting. So the sweet spot between the macro and the micro is in between, in a sense that we can focus on specific niches. An example could be anti-aging skincare. So we could create, for example, a website, or we could create an Instagram page or any channel, and we could just focus on anti-aging skincare or any other product, of course. And then we could eventually consider adding to that website 2 macro areas of the website when we focus on the men's side and the women's side of the products that we want to promote. That could still be okay, but you need first to define what could be the general audience and the general niche that you can focus. So, to sum that up, focus on the specific niches more than on the macro, which suits everyone, like a wide range of users, and on the micro, which is too specific and it will be hard to find enough users to promote your products. Besides looking for a niche which is specific, you should also consider other traits of the perfect niche. There's not such a thing as the perfect niche, right? But we could try to find a niche that is worthy of the time and the efforts that we will need to put into promoting those products. In particular, there are other traits that we could consider. So we could consider whether this niche is evergreen, profitable, this is essential, right? And it also suits our interests, our passion, or our expertise, because we don't want to be seen talking about a product that we don't really understand. It will be very hard to gain the trust from our audience. So let's focus more on detail on the evergreen, profitable, and specific traits that we need to consider when defining what niche is best for us. So let's start with evergreen. Evergreen as the tree, okay? Think of evergreen trees, right? Evergreen niches usually refer to a fundamental need for the user. An evergreen niche could be fashion, for example. We all want to look great. We all want to feel great. We want to feel self-confident. We want to look beautiful, handsome. So we want to have these throughout the year, throughout the years. It's not something that is going to change next year, right? So if we focus on a niche which can be considered as evergreen, then we can reap some results even in the long term. Because for some channels, for example, SEO or content marketing, as we will see later, so basically your website, you will need some time to see the results. But before defining exactly what could be some of the tools that you can use to define whether this niche is evergreen or timely, so like viral is like short term or long term, we first need to understand more about the audience, the user's needs. There are different types of needs. Oh, so many interesting things, right? So there are different types of needs that we can consider. The first comparison that we can make is whether this need is general or niche, as well as is this need direct or latent? Is this need constant or seasonal? Let's put that into context. So if it's a general need, it could be, for example, as I've mentioned, I want to feel good about myself. We all want to feel good about ourselves, right? But if it's a niche need, it could be a parent's need for their children to feel safe, to be safe. This is something that is very specific. Not everyone can relate to the same need. Not everyone has the same need. Then a direct need could be, I am aware that I have this need. I am aware that I'm looking for this product to solve any problem that I have, that I'm facing. But if it's a latent need, it's something that I still haven't considered. For example, a direct need could be, I'm really hungry. I want to eat right now. So I'm pretty aware of the fact that I'm hungry. This is no secret, right? But if it's a latent need, it could be, I've always taken the bus to go to work, to commute to work. But then you are showing to me this new e-bike. I didn't consider this e-bike before. I find it interesting. You persuaded me, and now I'm considering this. So this is something that I wasn't even aware as a need, right? And then the last difference that we can make is between a constant need and a seasonal need. So a constant need is like, throughout the year, I still need to buy some pairs of shoes. I need shoes, right? Shoes, it's not like in August or in January, I have different needs when it comes to shoes, right? But seasonal could be, I need to buy a winter coat. So we don't wear coats throughout the year. Coats are one example of seasonal need. And another very interesting comparison and consideration that we can make is whether this product that we are trying to promote can be considered as a need or a want. So many times, the most successful affiliates, the most successful brands, they're able to make any want look like a need. So see, for example, Apple. Like, I need a computer, I need a laptop, right? I need to be able to send emails, to work online, all of that. But why am I willing to pay such a high price for something different? Because you're selling this to me, making it look like it's something that I really need. I really need this product because I really want to level up my, my skills, my work, all of that. So I really need that product. But actually, it's more of a want. It's more something that even if I don't have that, I can still survive, but you make me feel like I really need that product. So let's see some of the tools that you can see to define whether this niche that you're considering can be considered evergreen or not. The first one that you can use is Google Trends, which is an official tool from Google, free tool. All the tools that you can see, that you will learn, that you will see throughout this course are all free, because we don't want you to focus too much on spending money for any tools, but rather on spending money wisely on your own marketing promotion. So Google Trends allows you to check the search volume and the changes in terms of search volume throughout the year, or compare different keywords and then compare their search volume in different countries. This is all you can do with this tool. You can also use the filters so that you can sort by the channel, category, or the time. You can even select, you can even check the search volume for a certain keyword or a certain topic on YouTube or Google. And you can even discover other related topics, which will be interesting for you to then look into that and see whether they can be useful for you. Another tool, which is also from Google and also free, is the Keyword Planner. It's a tool that you can find in the Google Ads platform, so don't worry, you can just create a Google Ads account, fill out all the information. You don't need to run ads for now. You just go to Tools. Once you go to Tools, you can click on Keyword Planner. You will see this list of information, right? From there, you can search for any keyword that you would like to look into, any keyword that could best describe the niche that you're considering. Google will then provide you a list of other related keywords. And then you can also see some other interesting points, considering, for example, the search volume throughout the year, or in the last few months, or any of that. You can also see the search volume. You can see the competition rate, in the sense that you can see whether this is a high competition, low competition keyword. Then you can also consider that. You also can use other tools, for example, Keywords Everywhere. So this is a free Chrome extension. You can add it to your Chrome or any browser that you're using. And then for every keyword that you search, you can also see the search volume as well as other related keywords. But let's say that you're located in one country and you want to promote your links to users from another country. So you can use SEO Minion to see what could be some of the results that appear when the user searches for that keyword on Google. So you can basically pretend that you're located in another country and check what are the results that appear on Google for that specific keyword, so that you can also understand what the users might be looking for, because Google is very much user-centered. So they want to provide the best answer to the user in the quickest amount of time, like the shortest amount of time. So you can also check that, because this is also very valuable information. How can you assess whether this niche is profitable or not? Well, you can go on Google and you can search for the niche name. For example, let's say sportswear, or it could be, shoes or anything like that, or even more specific ones, as we've just seen. And then you can also add to that market report or market trends, and then you can add the year. So it could be something like skincare for men market report, or skincare for men market trends 2022. And then you can see some reports. They're usually pretty expensive, so you don't need to buy those reports, don't worry. But you can even just check the description and the introduction to that report. They usually share some data about the year-on-year growth rate of that industry, of that niche. They usually also share some of the key drivers of growth for that industry. And they also share some other challenges that the users might be facing when they want to buy this product. So some of the challenges, as well as some of the key trends and the key drivers for growth in that specific niche. You can also check other two websites. The first one is Marketer. They have a pretty beautiful newsletter. You can join that. So they usually share, for example, as you can see here, they share some data for different industries, and then they compare what are the trends, so you can keep yourself updated. If you're targeting the US, you can also check Pew Research Center. It's a website where they usually share audience research about different industries and niches and all of that. So it's also very valuable. Another method that you can use if you want to understand whether this niche is profitable or not is by checking the CPC value of that specific niche. What? What is that? Okay, let's see that more in detail. So CPC stands for cost per click. It's another way to describe advertising, online advertising. It could be Google Ads or Facebook Ads or all of that, right? So usually how does online advertising work? Well, a list of marketers, let's say that there are 3 main marketers, 3 main brands. They all want to target the same keyword because they think that this keyword, this industry, this niche is very valuable for them. They really want to attract lots of users to their website and buy their products, right? So they will take part in an auction and say, I'm willing to pay 10, I'm willing to pay 20, I'm willing to pay 100, right? So then the CPC value will be a combination of the amount of money that they are willing to pay in order to make sure that their target audience sees their ads when they're searching for that keyword. So if you make a research online, for example, you have already considered this niche that you would like to target, but you're not sure whether it's profitable or not, you can search for the CPC value, the average CPC value for that niche, that industry. As you can see here, there are some niches whose CPC value is much higher. For example, pet care, like pet owners, they are really willing to pay lots of money, and even brands themselves, they're willing to pay lots of money. So it means that there's lots of money going through the brand to the user in that specific industry. It means that the value of this industry, of this niche, is really high. So this can give you a pretty rough understanding of whether this niche that you are considering is profitable or not. So you should not only consider whether the niche that you want to target is profitable, is evergreen, is specific, but maybe you also want to understand whether this niche is growing. What are some of the trends? How could you best communicate the value of this product and best attract new users to your affiliate links? Well, you can do that. First of all, you can check the Amazon websites. And as you know, Amazon has a whole range of websites available, in the sense that they're all Amazon websites, but there are different versions of the same website for each region or even each country. So you can go and check the Amazon homepage, the Amazon website for that specific region or that specific country that you want to target, let's say Italy, for example. And then you can see what are some of the Amazon bestsellers in that product category, in that region or in that country. That can also give you a pretty rough understanding and idea of, okay, well, this is indeed something that I should focus on or not. Maybe no one really needs that product, or maybe in this country there's a growing need for that specific product. You can also check on Pinterest and TikTok. In particular, you can monitor the Pinterest trends so that you can see what are the latest trends on Pinterest, as well as TikTok trends, where you can see what are some of the latest trends, the trending hashtags, and the trending content creators for that specific niche. Other than that, the best way to really promote a product online is in case you can find an untapped audience, meaning that you can find an audience that wasn't covered or isn't covered by other competitors, or that is often misunderstood or overlooked by other brands. I will give you an example. It could be like everyone is focusing on clothes, right? Women's clothes, but not so many brands are focusing on plus size clothing. This could be an untapped audience, especially in certain markets or in certain regions or countries. This is still something that could be developed further. And how can you actually check whether this niche is untapped? You can make some research online, especially if you can go on some Facebook groups. You can join some Facebook groups You can also check some subthreads on Reddit, and you can also use the Facebook Audience Insights tool in the Facebook Ads account. You can create just a very quick account, and then you can check what is the proportion, how wide is the audience that you could potentially target if you decide to focus on, I don't know, the United States and this audience and with these interests, with these preferences and all of that. Is the audience and the number of users enough to actually being worth of your promotion online? There are also other tools that you could potentially use. For example, you could use Google Alerts, which is a free tool from Google. You can define any keyword that you want to monitor, and then you will receive an email for each time any user uploads any types of content. It could be a blog post or a video on YouTube or anything like that. You will receive an email giving you a quick summary of the content that was shared recently in relation to that keyword. You can also use BuzzSumo, which is also a tool with a free trial, and Exploding Topics. They have a really beautiful newsletter. You can join that newsletter, you can subscribe to that newsletter, and then you can receive emails, and then they will basically share with you some of the untapped topics and some of the trending topics which still haven't blown up, but they still could be very valuable for you.